I just did New York Fashion Week, and this is how it went. From feeling lost to hella insecure before it, lots of imposter syndrome, and honestly, a lot of terror, just moments leading up to my models walking out, me walking out with the designer walk, that thing you always see. That was a moment I was really looking forward to, and it happened. And I don't know, it's such a pinch me moment, but in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the behind the scenes and everything, how I've felt all throughout this, and what it's really like to launch a fashion brand and get to New York Fashion Week. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rue, and on this channel, I post all things my podcast, Brown Girl Unscripted. I talk about behind the scenes of my fashion company, self-love, career, you name it. First things first, we gotta get a cup of tea. Today's cup of tea that I'm drinking is peppermint tea, and in every episode or every video that I have, I'm gonna be drinking a new cup of tea. So this week is organic peppermint infusion. I don't know if you can read that, but I love my tea around here, so that's gonna be a staple in all our episodes. Now that I've had a sip, basically leading up to Fashion Week, this is not something I was expecting at all. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, oh my god, I worked so hard to get here, da da da. Like, yeah, I mean, I worked hard on the company, but Fashion Week was never something that I even expected to happen to me so soon. I thought, like, I went to a New York Fashion Week earlier this year in Feb, and I really thought that, oh, I would be doing New York Fashion Week maybe like 2-3 years ahead. And then next thing you know, like, I was telling people like, yeah, like, I do want to have like a runway, I want to do like a fashion show, I want to be a part of New York Fashion Week, but I'm not really sure like how to do it, etc. And someone reached out to me, like a friend, a host, and she's like, yeah, I'm having an event for New York Fashion Week, like, I want you to be a part of it. And I was like, oh my god. Next thing you know, it's like I'm running around trying to get my models fitted, having like fittings, making sure like my samples are all good, literally getting these expedited so like everything comes in, designing new material. Like, I don't know, it was like so crazy. And I don't know, like, when I look back on it, I'm like, how did that even happen? But it did happen. Honestly, it was such a good experience. It was really scary though. I think just owning a fashion brand, owning like a fashion and media company in general is such a crazy experience to begin with, because like I started this company after I got laid off from my job in tech consulting. This isn't a typical story where I was like, I hated the job. Like, honestly, I didn't really hate it. I was just building something on the side as a side hustle, and then this happens. I was like, you know what? Like, why not just do this and see what happens? And I mean, honestly, if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have gone to New York Fashion Week, so there's that. And it was scary. I felt like so lost in these past 7, 8, 9 months now of launching. I launched in March, and it is September 26th. I think it's probably going to be a little bit later when you watch this video, but all that to say, like, I don't know, guys. If you want to do something, I'm like the biggest I'm the firmest believer that you should just go ahead and do it, and obviously calculate like the finances, make sure you're in a good space. Like, I lived at home when I launched the company, and I got a good severance package, so like things worked out for me. But that being said, leading up to New York Fashion Week, honestly, the craziest week ever. I was just like terrified the whole time, and in that, like, I don't know, like, I was scared the models wouldn't look good. I was scared that, oh my god, like, what if, like, people show up late? What if people bail? What if people hate my designs? Like, the new collection that I just came out with. And the truth is, it was the exact opposite of everything that I thought. My anxiety was wrong, so that was great. And I think this goes for, like, all these, like, 20-something kind of, like, fears, career aspirations, whatever that like we all have, right? Like, whether you're starting a new job, whether you're starting a new business, like, it's terrifying, it's so scary, and it feels like, honestly, for me at least, it's kind of felt like you're never doing enough, you know? I feel like in your 20s, like, I constantly feel like that. I'm 24 right now, and I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I don't know, just like I feel like the bar like kind of like keeps on growing and growing. And not that it's like a good thing, because I do want to like be more proud of myself for sure. It's something I feel like I struggle with, but I just would say, like, you should just go for it. Like, I think action and making decisions quickly is really good, especially in business, especially in anything really. Like, obviously calculate the risk, whatever, but like, I think making these decisions is so important. And for Fashion Week, like, having fittings and like being like, I don't know, getting to your models, like that's my favorite part, I would say, like of like having these fashion shows, is like you get to know people who are gonna be rocking your creations. So I never want to be the type of CEO, the type of founder, type of designer that's like, oh yeah, you get here, like done, like this is like work. Like nah, like I want to create like a fun environment for y'all. So I literally like honestly, I feel like I'm like at least on like friendly terms with like each and every one of the models, and I think that made the experience so much better. So if you're looking to New York Fashion Week, like remember that, because truly like it is the best thing that you will do. Like these people are going to be rocking your designs, so you want to make sure that they're comfortable and they're feeling good. You know, the last thing you want is for them to be like, oh my god, like this designer is so mean, she sucks. And as someone who also models, like I have had the experience of dealing with designers that aren't so nice, that are the opposite of what I try to emanate in my business, and it sucks. And it's not fun. It's not fun to walk for them. You're just like sitting there like, oh, I hate this. And you never want to be the type of person. So definitely keep those things in mind. And above it all, like literally, like at the end of it, just enjoy yourself. Like after my entire collection came out, I was like, you know what? I'm so proud of myself. I did New York Fashion Week. Like a bunch of my friends came and I just had a good time, honestly. Like we were like dancing, we were having fun, came back to my place, and I don't know, the best thing you can do for yourself, because if you're doing New York Fashion Week, you're launching your own company, you're obviously a very, very ambitious and goal-driven person to some capacity. So please enjoy yourself. You worked so hard the entire week to like do this. So go ahead and have a blast. And also like when you can, where you can, try to minimize like the financial investments you make, because obviously New York Fashion Week is a pretty big investment. And beyond that, you have like your clothes, whatever, right? So like try to be resourceful with that, because I know what it's like being an early stage like startup. Like mine is definitely like that. So like I try to be like I'm pretty bootstrapped, and I don't know, I think that's like been really helpful. Like you should ask like, hey, can I use this? Like reach out to your network, like, oh, like do you have a space, like a studio maybe I can use for fittings? Like I did that and I feel like it was great. Like I didn't have to pay like, I don't know, like $300-$400 for something. It was super grateful. Like shout out my contact, shout out Trisha. I don't know, I think that really helps. And now I'm at a point where like everything is done. Like I'm processing New York Fashion Week, and all that to say, it's truly one of the best experiences that you can create for yourself, but use it to your advantage. You can leverage this for partnerships. You can leverage this for any collaborations you want. You can literally put this on your website. Like the second that New York Fashion Week was done, I literally went on my website and I was like, as featured on New York Fashion Week. And like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. It adds validity to your company that I feel like is important to put out there. Like you have an accomplishment or an achievement, put it out there, show people, tell people, because you have no idea the amount of support and the amount of validity that you will gain from that, especially when it comes to building that brand trust. Like New York Fashion Week has a pretty good name to it. So you mentioned that, and then you mentioned, yeah, like whatever you're like at, like things that make your brand stand out, it does wonders for you. Like I feel like I've had really good leads for partnerships because of New York Fashion Week, and I just literally at least once I would recommend it. I know I've heard like weird things about Paris Fashion Week, but New York Fashion Week, baby, you gotta do it. And that brings us to the end of this video. All in all, the experience was crazy, like probably very just like imposter syndrome-ville, because I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but like I'm recentering now. And if you're in your 20s navigating a new business, a new venture, whatever, and you're looking at New York Fashion Week, even as a model, you have to be your biggest supporter. When I was doing New York Fashion Week, I feel like there were so many people in my life that didn't really understand the significance of that. And then it's like, okay, but like I know how significant this is. I know how it's gonna help my company, my brand, like help me achieve where I want to be. And that's the only thing that really matters, because I think it's super easy, especially in your 20s, to get caught up with external validation when it comes to your career, etc. Because it's a crazy time. Like you're lost, you just graduated college, like it's weird. But like the best thing you can do for yourself is build that confidence that like I'm making these moves, and maybe some people don't get it, but the people who are industry experts, who are like getting to the place where you want to be with like this venture, or even like a new job you're starting, they get it. And they're like, yeah, this is what it's gonna take. Like, go and do it. Tune out all the other noise and tune into what you know is gonna work and that you know you want to take a chance on and put your like all into. That's it. Tune out all the noise. Tune out anyone telling you can't do this, it's too hard, it's impossible. Like, I don't believe impossible. I think you can do anything. Yeah, it might take some time, but who cares? You can do it. And with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I would love to post more about like behind the scenes career things and just like things around navigating career in your 20s. I started a new series about it on my Instagram because honestly, this is a topic that I feel like is not talked about enough. I feel like everyone that I talk to is like, oh my god, I constantly feel like I'm behind, but the truth is I feel like we all feel like that. Why not just help each other out and talk more about, okay, this is how I actually feel, this is how it's going, and actually you're doing really good, but like just like you might be hearing that one negative comment, internalizing it, and that's it. So I love you. You're doing great. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're a baddie, you're gonna achieve all your goals, and mwah, bye.